Welcome back to the Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. Last time... stupid villagers, I'll just say that. Stupid, derpy villagers. This time, thankfully, we're not dealing with that. We're actually going to head on to Chapter 8, where we'll be fighting a couple of new characters and fighting a new foe. Well, a sort of new foe. First, though, the main reason why I wanted to get into this immediately is a merchant has just spawned who has something that I really want. Not that blessed bow, we already had one of those, but if we shop here...
Oh, come on in.
This merchant has something that I really want for Donald. And I really wish he could cobble together a second seal of his own, but a second seal right here. If anyone's level 10 or above in their base class, they can reclass using this item to any other class. This is very important for Donnie because this item lets him get out of the terrible villager class. So, I want this, and this could not have come at a better time. Because in the next level up, Donald will learn the last skill that the villager class teaches, and once that happens, I want him to drop villager as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and buy this. Definitely worth the investment. I actually really like how this game handles reclassing. I mean, admittedly it can be a little broken, but at least it doesn't totally destroy all individuality characters had, like in Shadow Dragon. And also, it requires an item, so at least that... I mean, later in the game, you'll find shops that sell second seals, and you have more than enough gold to buy as many as you want. But earlier on, I like the fact that it's limited, that it helps keep it from being all that broken. In preparation for this, Donald needs to get rid of almost all of his lances. And the reason why is that he can't use lances in any of his other class options, so that is really annoying. I kind of wish that he would, but see that B rank on lances there? That's going to be useless. He's never going to use lances ever again. Again, if he could promote to soldier or halberdier, that would be really awesome, but no. Because of this, Donnie needs a bronze sword, because that's the class that I want him to change into. Okay. Hey, Sully can use iron swords now, she has no use for that. So I'll take Sully's. Might need to do a bit of an inventory cleanup too before I head on out to the next chapter, but first... we have some supports. Let's get the more minor one out of the way. Kellum and Muriel spent so much time together last chapter that, they got a support.
Permit me to clarify.
Of course it does. It makes no logical sense at all, yeah. I love how they're pointing out how little sense it makes. Now, something that I actually might want to point out. I've been playing Majora's Mask 3D lately. And this is in fact the first time I've ever played Majora's Mask because I never played the original game. Basically, there's a character in Majora's Mask who I think, considering this is another Nintendo game, Kellum may have actually been based off of directly. The guy who gives you the stone mask in that game is a soldier in wearing armor who, when you talk to him, who is completely invisible. You need the lens of truth to actually see him, and when you talk to him, he says it's because he lacks presence, that you can't even see him at all without the lens of truth. And he gives you the stone mask, which has the same effect on you. You wear it, you become as unnoticeable as a stone. I actually think that, I'm not sure if this is true or not, because there's been no developer confirmation, and I don't know if anyone who worked on this game also worked on Majora's Mask, but because they're both Nintendo games, I don't think it's too unreasonable to believe that Kellum was directly based off of the Stone Mask guy from Majora's Mask. It would actually make a lot of sense. Yes, if we could find his secret, then we could train an army of ninjas. And he's invisible again. But, here's the big one. Yep, Sal and Stully are about to take the ultimate step and become Stully. I've been looking forward to this, so here we go. This is a unique theme that plays for all S supports, except those involved with the avatar.
Thanks.
Nah.
Yes, say that to his strength growth.
So,
No, it doesn't. You're vastly outclassing him at this point.
Hell no.
Yeah, maybe one day Star will get a good level up.
Very kind of you. Yeah, you're telling me. Please get more strength when you level up. Yeah, not that she needs it. Her level up's as good as it is.
nah. Thanks.
I'm pretty sure the old Bull and Panther didn't have this kind of relationship, except in Mary Sue's imagination.
My lady, I may never take my eyes off you again. Unless I'm about to run into a wall.
I love you, you bastard. There, I said it. Now don't ask me again.
Okay, let me just explain something for a little bit. Now, I just decided to add those scenes in there. Normally, those confession scenes only play when you get an S support with that character and the avatar. But, hey, if I actually only showed that one, we'd only be getting one of those confession scenes in this game, and I want to show as many as possible, so there's a lot of great voice acting to be had in them, especially Sully's there. I really like Sully's confession. But anyway, I thought, come on, why does the avatar have to have all the fun? Everyone deserves to have these full scenes, so from now on, every time characters reach an S support, I'm going to show both of their confessions side by side. Just thought that'd be a nice touch. So yes, as you can see down there, marriage partner or life companion. Yeah, that'll become relevant later due to a funny bit of censorship, but anyway, they've now attained an S support. What does an S support do? Well, the main benefit of an S support will not be relevant immediately, but it does give an enormous boost when pairing up together in combat, which, trust me, you'll see that when they actually... You pretty much get guaranteed dual strikes, very high chance of dual guards, and enormous stat bonuses from being paired up. But a character can only have one S support with an opposite gendered person, so Sully can no longer have any S supports with anyone here. But yeah, these two are our first pair. And in every playthrough I've done, which is just these two, Star and Sully have been the first that I've ever got paired. Probably because they both joined so early. Well, technically speaking, Crom and Mary Sue did that this time, but again, I'm going to wait for Crom and Mary Sue because I don't think it's quite appropriate now. But anyway, with that done, I know this is going to be a bit of an anticlimax, but a bit of inventory management here. Where are you, Virion? You need that bow. Please tell me that you can use it. Yes, you can. Can't use Iron's bow yet, but wow, that's a really high hit rate. Probably references the Shore Strike skill from Sacred Stones that was totally useless because snipers always hit anyway, but whatever. Okay, you might need a new healing staff soon. I want you to take that Gaius' steel sword, because Gaius actually hits harder than you overall. And drop your iron sword, you don't need that for now. But as for who does need an iron sword, that would be Sully. So you take the iron sword. And get rid of your bronze lance. Let's see what lances you can use now. Wow, she can use Frederick's silver lance. That might not actually be that bad of an option. But hey, let's give him Finn's lance. I mean, it's not Cain and Abel's, but it's a legendary one. Well, semi-legendary. And Starl needs better swords. But we don't have very much in the way of decent swords. Which is very annoying. We'll need to find a shop that sells those. You're fine. You might need better magic, but we don't really have much better magic at this point. Let's see what we have here. Nosferatu, which she can't use because she's not a dark mage. You're fine. You need another healing staff. You're fine for now. You're fine for now. You may need another tome, but you're at the moment fine. You're fine. Let's see if we have more iron swords that I can use. May as well take that. And you're more than fine. Okay, let's just see what we have as far as shops go, because we can buy med staffs from here.
What can I fix you with?
Which we might be able to use on, although Lissa heals enough as it is. I could just take another regular heal staff.
I carry only the finest.
That still sounds so much like Dixon. Anyway, let's see if we can get some better... Okay, so they sell healing staves. You sell those weapons. You just sell iron weapons. You don't sell steel weapons. You don't sell steel weapons. No, I think we can't actually buy any better swords at this point. That's annoying. Oh well. I think that's pretty much all we can do now, so it's time to head on into the next chapter. Just before we go in, since, again, I am recording this after I recorded the first part here, this merchant is selling a Master Seal, something that we will actually need.
Oh, come on in.
We pretty much want as many of these as we can get, but it is going to run me a lot of gold, and I'm not really sure if I need it now. That's the thing. Do I have anything that we can sell? Yeah, we have that log and the ladle. I don't think that we really... Oh, we do have a small bullion. See, here's the thing. At this point in the game, I'd rather save that money for weapons. Because we're not actually going to really need these for a little while, so... As much as I hate to pass off the opportunity to, Oh! The merchant vanishes even if you just sell something to them. You don't have to buy anything. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, basically... Yeah. I don't think we're going to be needing those just yet, so it's probably a bit of a waste of gold to buy one now. Later in the game, you really want to buy those whenever you have the opportunity. But anyway, time to begin this chapter. Now, you'll notice if from the map here that if you're familiar with the original games, this area is about where Arcania was. I mean, not Arcania. I mean, this is all Arcania, but this is where Altea was, aka Marth's homeland in the original games. That's kind of interesting because when we go into this chapter, we'll see why. Chapter 8: The Deff Deelers. Yes, I'm not missing an opportunity to make terrible fanfiction references. So apparently we've managed to come this far without being spotted, and that's because we basically went through the desert. I'm surprised Frederick can actually walk around in the desert in full armor, but, well, then again, most Fire Emblem characters do that. But there's some enemies.
Right.
So, of course, it's time to move out. And yes, we're in a desert. So, this is kinda bad. The desert bogs down movement for pretty much everyone. Yeah, only mages and flyers will be likely to proceed unhindered. Now, there is something a little interesting about that. That I'll explain. It relates to Mary Sue. And, okay, preparations. So, basically, mages like Lissa, okay? So, yeah, that includes staff users, and Muriel. They can move their full distance. But people like Crom are slowed down. Mounted units are slowed down pretty severely, and armored units are very severely slowed down. So, that was why I wanted to use Kellum in the last chapter, because he really would not see much use here. Now, something interesting to note, though. Despite the fact that it's kind of a mage, the Avatar's Tactician class actually does not count as a mage for the purposes of movement in deserts, so the Avatar is actually slowed down by sand just as much as most foot soldiers are, so that's kind of strange. Again, they're not technically a mage, despite the fact they use magic. Anyway, though, we've got enemies that are roughly the same level as they were in that last side quest, really. Oh yeah, Cavalier, that guy's not going to be moving very far. Now, notice there are some tiles here that aren't desert, and you'll need to keep track of those because it's much easier for enemies to reach you there. This hill, apparently, it seems like no one can actually traverse that terrain except flyers, and bones as well. We've got this big skeleton over here, but mostly this map is desert. We have 3 villages to save, though. Thankfully, I don't think any of these enemies can actually destroy them, so that's good. We've got a lot of Dark Mages among the enemy's ranks, though, and the good news is the enemy does not have any Wyvern Riders, so they pretty much will always be slowed down by the desert unless they're a Dark Mage. Thankfully, basic Dark Magic is kinda weak in this game. Oh, droppable Killing Edge. That is very, very good, because we can't buy those yet, and Long Coups are starting to wear out. And as for the boss, we have this guy. A priest with a fanatical reverence for Grima. That can't be a good sign. I love this guy's voice acting. So yes, the boss of this chapter is Severely Snap, one of the highest ranking members of the Deff Deelers. I know that he's actually called Shalard, but I prefer to call him, I think he's Severely Snap reincarnated, and thus Mary Sue must inflict righteous vengeance upon him. As for who we're going to pick for this one, well, apart from those two, definitely going to bring Vake and Cordelia because, well, Cordelia is the only flyer I'm actually allowed to use here. Normally I'd bring Sumia, but again, she's kind of dead. Now, I do kind of want to just show off just how good that S support between Starl and Sully is, but they're not exactly the best characters for this map because they've got their movement severely cut. Maribel, oh yeah, Maribel's kind of weird too. Despite the fact that she's technically a magic user, Big Mounted actually overrides that as far as desert movement is concerned, so she's still slowed down by the desert. That's really annoying. But I want to bring her because I definitely want Ricken here. We want as many mages as possible, so definitely dropping Kellum, unfortunately. We want as many mages as possible, so bring both Muriel and Ricken. Now, I want Donald here as well. The reason for this won't become obvious until we see a character who joins us here. But also, Donald is almost probably one more kill off of becoming level 15, and by that time, he can officially ditch the villager class forever, which is going to be an amazing moment, and I do want to use these guys as support, but I just think I would much rather have some more people here. Virion may not be very useful at all. Want Donald, and one more. I suppose if we're using Lissa, we may as well use Longku as well. Targwell do get slowed down by the desert a bit, so Gaius and Pan might not exactly be the best choices for this map. So I may as well, even though he's a little over-leveled, go with Longku here. Again, mostly just for the pair-up with Lissa. It's probably going to be mostly Lissa who does the stuff in this map. Now, we're fine as far as weapons are concerned, right? I think we should be. Maribel is actually very close to being able to use that physics staff, so I'm going to keep that on her. And like I said earlier, I'm giving Donald a bronze sword, because he's going to need that soon. Ricken and Muriel's magic seems fine. And, okay, now all that's left is to reposition ourselves. I probably want the mages to be as far forward as possible here. And I want Cordelia to be over this side, mainly because, well, okay, as long as Vake can actually reach her. Yeah, mainly because I kind of want her to take on most of this side of the maps. Cordelia's great for getting to these villages as fast as possible, which is what we want to do. I know that I don't think any of them are at risk of being destroyed, but I kind of want to make sure I get them. Now, I'm going to move Donald as far forward as possible because I kind of want him to be. Again, you'll see why in a moment. Okay, she can pair with Ricken. Muriel is kind of going to not have a support partner for a while in this chapter, but slight spoilers, her husband is going to be joining next chapter, so that means that she won't have to suffer that for very long, and Longku is, needs to be, okay, yeah, you can move next to Riken, right? Yes, you can. Actually, I'd probably rather do that. I think that's a pretty decent setup, so let's do this. And as you can see, we're already getting new characters, and this is why I wanted to bring Donald to this chapter. And I kind of like to call these two the localization duo. One of them was subtly localized, and it was probably enforced because, well, yeah, it's an issue between the West and Japan that's, kind of has to be changed sometimes. The second, though, this guy, Gregor. Gregor's character was almost entirely rewritten in the English version. And honestly, this is one of the few times where I actually think it was for the best. Gregor in the Japanese version was extremely bland and forgettable. But she apparently doesn't want anything to do with him. But yeah, giving away position is very bad, especially when there's a Myrmidon right next to you. yeah. Some of Noi's dialogue I really like, though.
Good grieving.
And for some reason, Crom's voice carries a very long way. I really don't see how Gregor can hear him from this far over the map, but okay, I'm not going to question it.
Huh?
But apparently everyone's mistaking Gregor for a bad guy.
Hey.
What?
Well, we know that guy's certainly a bad guy, so if Gregor's fighting against him, he's probably on our side.
Nonsense.
So yeah, Gregor's not with them, he's not one of all.
Eh? Right.
And actually, by sorted out later, I don't think it ever does get sorted out, because I don't think Gregor ever speaks again in the game apart from support conversations, apart from after this chapter.
Yes.
Oh, you think this person is gonna need protecting until, we finish off the enemies. Yeah, you say that now, Crom, if only you knew. Anyway, again, we have to warn some villagers, so it's best if we use a mage or a flyer for that. But these villagers have very good items. I'm pretty sure that no one can destroy these, because if they could, this fighter would smash this village right here, and he's right next to it, so that would be impossible. That reminds me of a pretty funny thing I'll talk about that later. Anyway, we have two new characters here. We have Gregor the Mercenary. I did that accent terribly wrong. Anyway, to find out more about Heavy Mercenary Guy, click the annotation. We also have Noe, and I'm going to save talking about her until I actually get her to attack, because she's very, very unique, let's just say. Yeah. At the moment, I'm going to go ahead and pair them up just for extra boosts, and then have her move as far as possible over here. Noe has fairly low HP and pretty low speed, but thankfully pairing up gives her enough speed to avoid being doubled by those guys. But hey, why does she have an item called a Dragonstone? Well, we'll be finding out quite soon. But speaking of soon, I'm going to want Donald to get to her as soon as possible, because I am intending to marry him and Noe. He's pretty much one of the few people who I actually consider pairing with her. And I can't do that yet because Lissa's in the way. So Lissa's going to go with Longku for now, just so that the Vake can go with the Cordelia. And head on down here. Yeah, Cordelia's not exactly the fastest Pegasus Knight out there at this point, which means that she doesn't actually double Myrmidons, but she's still very, very strong, so she makes up for it. Well, she does certainly dodge them, though. And, of course, Maribel's going with Ricken, and sadly, Croma's going with Mary Sue. So, for the moment, I would pair up her and Donnie, but I don't think that's such a good idea. Speaking of not such a good idea, now, normally doing this with Muriel wouldn't be such a good idea. However, that guy can't reach her because of the desert, and we have two Dark Mages here. They're not a threat to her because she's got very decent resistance. They're actually more of a threat to Ricken, though Maribel really helps with his resistance. Okay, how to do this? Yeah, just need to make sure that Muriel is out of that guy's range. Also, we have amazing music again. You know what? I had a feeling that would happen. Great, we're going to have to go to plan B. Okay, if she dies to all these attacks just because she missed that thunder, I'm going to be very angry. I'm going to be very, very angry if that happens. It almost feels like her best chance of survival is if I actually switch Ricken over to her, but that would be bad because that would expose Maribel. Why did you have to miss that 80%? That's really bad. Oh yeah, luck certainly wasn't with Muriel. And luck is going to have to be with me for me to even survive this turn now. Why did you have to go and miss? Anyway, no need to equip the Worm Slayer because there are no enemies that's good against here. I suppose being hit by one I should have kept that Javelin, but he would have really only got one use out of it anyway. Crom and Mary Sue are going to go down the middle, I think. Okay, you're attacking Ricken. Why exactly? I mean, seriously, that's only... Although, if the Axeman hits him too, that could be bad. Although, why are you gang up on Ricken? Maribel... I mean, not Maribel. Muriel has worse... Okay, that's good, okay? That means we're 100% safe this turn. Yeah, I had a feeling the Axeman would go for her. Because she does have the worst defense. Okay, you're going for Long Coup. I was kind of hoping to show off what Noe could do, but oh well.
Who dies next?
Steel Sword is definitely helping out Long Cou's offense a little, but I would much rather... This is why I wanted the Javelin. And I would have preferred a miss there. Wait a minute, please tell me that you... Okay, good, you're not going to do enough damage. And again, for some reason, enemy Dark Mages have terrible speed in this... Are you kidding me? Wow, Muriel, you have terrible luck in this chapter. Okay, hopefully this should not be too bad. Oh, the opposite of too bad, actually. Except Donnie kind of needs to take someone down this turn. And the Dark Mages, of course, get to advance. Just watch out for those Cavaliers on the plains terrain, because, yeah... That non-desert terrain, they can kind of sneak up on you there, where you're used to, yeah, them being on the desert the whole time. Now, as much as I would like to save this village, I would also like to get rid of you, because otherwise there could be problems. You know what? Okay, first let's... Although that would... Alright, I want to see if there's a way that I can actually do this. Because if I do a transfer, yeah, that would give Gregor to him instead. Gonna have to actually do this. And this is gonna put off Donnie's glorious ascension from the Pathetic Villager class. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to... Let me see. Actually, gonna probably have to take you down. Oh, 1% critical, that's kind of scary.
Right behind
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy who believes that if something bad can happen, it will happen. Unless that happens! Nice one, Vake. Perfect.
Thank you.
That was... I actually did not see that coming at all, but thank you for averting that possible chance of disaster. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I just really want to get Donnie level 15 so he can drop this evil class for good. I mean, it gives good skills, but just, oh, its base stats and its growth rate. You're about to see why soon. And with that, Donnie learns Underdog, the last reason to ever stay as a villager, and he can use that Steel Lance, except he won't be able to once he reclasses. So, he has Underdog now. Hit and avoid plus 15 if the foe's level is higher. Another reason why it would be a good idea to reclass him back to level 1 immediately. And does... oh, that doesn't actually do all that much. Yeah, you know what? I actually am going to have to do this. Okay, so switch over. Transfer Noe over to Donald. And wait. And now I need to get rid of that Dark Mage. So I actually want Lissa to heal this turn, so... I kind of have to do this with Crom now.
Let's go.
Yeah, I totally saw that coming. Yeah, that on the other hand was a very obvious critical. Crom is certainly critting quite a lot now. Must be from that Solidarity boost. Yeah, I can probably just heal with Lissa there. And switching the magic user to the primary member of the pair gives the pair greater mobility next turn due to the whole, you know, desert thing. Oh, I really wish. Just, if only I had one more magic. Because, honestly, I think Maribel needs to heal her next turn. In fact, yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, there's not much risk of anything if I go here. But I'm using fire this time because I don't want to take my chances. Not with Muriel's current luck. And that twirl means that she did hit. Like I've said before, characters have various, slightly different animations if, they're gonna kill the enemy. So you have to be really careful if the enemy does one of those, because that means you're already dead. Like if an axe user jumps in the air before hitting you, that's not a good sign. Anyway, Muriel just learned Focus, which grants critical plus 10 when there are no allies within 3 spaces. Unfortunately, there is an ally within 3 spaces, and this ally needs to get even closer because I have to heal her.
Very gracious of him.
Now, I'm pretty sure that, that the skill does not count a paired-up partner. I don't think anyone can even attack me this turn, actually. Interesting. Okay, then. So, yeah, if you've got a pair-up partner, I don't think they're counted for the purposes of that skill, so... oh, Muriel's movement in... I mean, Maribel's movement in... I keep getting the names mixed up. In Desert is terrible. Anyway, I kind of want to save that village, but I also want to do something a little special. Of course, there's something else special that I want to do, but, said character does not like being hit by a lot of enemies this early on. So, instead, I am going to do... oh, careful, because that's plains, and yeah, a lot of enemies are going to be incoming. However, I'm actually going to have to spoil this one character's special ability if I do this, but the problem is that they tend to get damaged quite a lot this early on, especially that guy. That guy's bad. You know what, I'll just go kind of far back here, and, okay, actually what I'm going to do is I am going to... this is kind of hard to decide... but I think I'm going to go with... actually, I'd probably rather do this, but... That means I postpone Donald's glorious ascension, but I'm kind of wanting to do this because this is going to happen. Oh, you thought that Noe was just a defenseless little girl, right? Well, here we go! And yes, this doesn't come as any surprise to people who are familiar with earlier games in the series, but yes, that is a dragon. She's a Manakete, basically a race who can transform into dragons. Wow. Actually, they're dragons who transform into humans. There's a pretty big difference. But yes, it's not so much that she needs our help, it's that we need hers. Now I can finally show this. To find out more about our first dragon, click the annotation. Yeah, I actually kind of want to visit this village now. Hey, it's the Thunderation, old man! This is what, the third time that he's appeared in the game so far? I think this is the third time, yeah. But, yeah, Oh, hey, looks like we're gonna get a rescue staff. Yeah, Cordelia's not exactly one gifted in spells. And yeah, this points out that, like a lot of earlier games in the series, the range on long-range staves is dependent on the user's magic stat. Yeah, its range is magic over 2. So, for example, Lissa here would have a range of 6 spaces with long-range staves. In Shadow Dragon, the range was infinite, and that got very, very broken with certain staves, but I'm not going to talk about that here, because this isn't Shadow Dragon. For now, there's a large onslaught of enemies incoming, and I kind of don't want Gregor to do much until he has a support partner, and unfortunately his support partner is not going to join for a very long time, so that is annoying. And I don't want too many enemies to... kind of want to pick my battles here, because I don't want too many enemies to... Yeah, gonna let Mary Sue go here just for the ease of being a little more productive, and I'm actually gonna heal. Oh, as much as I want to do that, I don't want to. I want this guy to attack them basically because I really want Noe to get the extra experience. Though using the physics staff, I don't think there's actually much point, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a regular heal staff. Of course, dragons don't need to transform to be healed. And now we're just down to these two, who can't really reach anyone at this point. That Dark Mage certainly can. Hey, can I rescue... I could do that, but yeah. The rescue staff is actually very, very useful for crossing basically a lot more of the map than you normally would be able to. But... this early on in the game, I don't really want to use it all that much. I mean, it's got very good applications later, but not exactly so much now.
Stay focused.
Ugh, decimating even with the pathetic one-might wind tome. That's Mary Sue for you. Oh, you know, I had a feeling you'd do that. But that was a spectacular failure. Okay, actually, that is exactly what I wanted the other guy to do. Aha! Dragon time!
You can do this.
And that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Now, if Crom doesn't dual strike, which is incredibly rare, or if that doesn't happen, I would have been able to save this guy's experience to someone who desperately needed it, but unfortunately, Mary Sue is broken. Hello there, more cavalry. Okay, now what I kind of want to do is, as much as I want Noe to get more experience, and I really do because she's quite low level for this point in the game, I actually want to do this. Finally, it's time for Donald to once and for all abandon the pathetic villager class and become something so much more. Now, the reason why I didn't do this before was because if I did do this to Donnie in the middle of a huge horde of enemies, he would destroy them all and hog all the experience, and I don't exactly want that. Donnie, at this point, basically becomes someone with Forseti from Fire Emblem 4 and how powerful he is. As you can see, those are some insanely high stats that he's going to have once he reclasses, and that's normally not the case. But anyway, I'm going to go for Mercenary because the skill that he learns there is very, very useful for him. And we're about to hear awesome music. Oh, I love this game's promotion theme. But anyway, speaking of which, this technically isn't a promotion. It's technically just a reclass. However, normally when you reclass to a level 1 of a base class, your stats get lowered considerably. In Donald's case, because the villager class has such terrible base stats, his stats actually go up insanely high when he changes to a different class. It's practically a promotion, even though it's technically not, so... And Donald learned my weapons are unbreakable forever. And gained the ability to use swords. Unfortunately, lost the ability to use lances, which is annoying. But anyway, Donald is now a mercenary, and he still keeps his port helmet in any of his classes, which is kind of funny. And his stats are enormous for a level 1. To put this in perspective, here's Gregor, a level 10 mercenary. Donald has higher stats than him in everything. As a level 1 mercenary. Yeah, Donald at this point in the game is kind of ridiculous. He'll kind of get weaker later on, but at this point, he's just downright insane. Anyway, I actually kind of want these two to fly down further, just to get to that other village. And okay then. Oh, that guy is not quite going to double Gregor. Just don't want Chrome and Mary Sue to hog too much of the enemy experience. Might actually want Long Ku to do this. Or, how many enemies will he be hit by? He'll be hit by a Steel Lance Cavalier. That's actually not a good thing. I mean, that's really, really not a good thing. Yeah, I actually might want to do this more.
It's all right.
Normally I don't like pulling back and retreating, but in this case I just don't want... I mean, the characters that I could potentially put on the front line here are just not exactly appropriate for the number of enemies they're about to get attacked by. So in this case, I'm actually going to have Long Ku get rid of this guy. And wait, did I just... he's not going to finish this guy off in one hit. That's actually really bad. I should have thought before I did that. But of course, he dodges.
I'll make this quick.
I could have used that in the first hit, Long Ku. Thanks for that.
You're no warrior.
Thanks a lot. Again, I could have used that the first time. Yeah, I'm not going to use Gregor all that much at this point, but I might later on. The Cavalier can actually attack there. I wonder. Rickan's a little weak, though. But he does need the experience more. And he will only get hit by one enemy. I mean, it is a Steel Lance user, but I mean, Rickan does have very good defense for a mage. Don't exactly want to waste that concoction, but I may have no choice. And, let's see. Okay, that guy can only go there. Don't exactly want to let Muriel attack the... Okay, she'd get hit by 2 enemies if she went there. Okay, let's see how things work here.
I've got
No, I knew that would happen.
Thanks.
I was about to say good, no double, and then I realized, oh wait, Crom's definitely going to dual strike. Okay, this is exactly what I planned for. 13, huh? Okay, yeah, I had a feeling that the second guy would be coming for them, and that is what Muriel is for. Probably. Okay, that guy's got an Iron Lance. And Ricken will actually pretty much die if he gets hit again. So this is where I have to... Okay, is Lissa in Physics Staff range? Let me just see. The furthest she can go is there. With the Physics Staff, she probably would be able to reach him, actually. But first, let's... normally I'd say let's show what Noe can do, but she doesn't exactly like fighting these guys. However... I could actually do that. Except, the problem with that is that then, I mean, I can go here so as to not guarantee a dual strike. I'll do that. Hey, let's give Gregor some screen time. Don't worry, he'll get more screen time later, I'll make sure, but just not yet. Now it's time to show what Noe can do. Not that she hasn't for a lot of this chapter, but I do want her to get some experience. At this point, she actually can die fairly easily if she gets attacked by too many enemies at once, so we'll need to actually make sure that she doesn't, because, yes, it is very, very... Did I just block off my physics staffing point for... Okay, provided that Ricken goes here, yeah, I can still heal him, that's good. Yeah, not doing that. You'll notice that Ricken actually does have a far higher hit rate than... Well, that's because he's... Actually, not because he's paired up, it's just because of his naturally higher skill stat, okay. I do want him to get caught up with Muriel, even if it is only one level.
Yes.
And I thought that wouldn't be enough. But, okay, now I must heal him. I need to make very sure of that. Perfect. This is why the physics staff is so useful. And... Muriel, your hit rates... I mean, you're supposed to have a 60% skill growth too. I guess I'm getting skill screwed with her. That's actually kind of rare. Okay. You know, I'll just go here and just hope that he doesn't attack Crom. Because I don't want to waste that experience. Have some fire. And, oh yeah, I haven't moved these guys. So, let's see. Cordelia does have a javelin, right? In which case, don't want to provoke two of them at once, so I'll just have her sneak around here. And yes, this is a route mission, it's not a defeat boss, which is good. So I don't have to worry about prematurely ending this. Yeah, that twirl means that they have in fact defeated the enemy. And from here, there aren't too many enemies left, and you aren't moving. Okay, so I guess they only advance when you get into their range. You know what? I actually kind of want to do this. Or not, because then I wouldn't... Alright, that's annoying. Okay, hopefully... Alright, she'll go down here. And they will go here. Because I need to go ahead and heal... And let's just use the men's staff. Because slightly more experience for Maribel. Hopefully, she'll be able to use the physics staff very soon. And that was very good, actually. Yeah, she's very close to being able to use that physics staff. Anybody need some healing? Well, Gregor needs some healing, so I might as well just go there, have Lissa heal him. Every little bit of experience helps. Especially at this point, because soon we're about to get something very good. Okay, now I'm going to go here because, one, a support bonus from Donald and Noe would be very good, but secondly, though, Noe has a very interesting event tile quote for a certain particular thing, and I really hope to show this off in this playthrough. So I hope for Oh, no, I didn't get it. Great. Noe's experience quote is actually really interesting as far as Fire Emblem lore goes. But anyway, we got Leif's Blade, named after the main character of Fire Emblem 5. This is a sword that effectively has a built-in despoil skill. And it's got a luck percent stat of working, luck stat percent chance of working, basically, which means it's perfect for Donald. So, actually, it's great that Noe found that. Not only that, but with Arms Rift, it means it's actually very hard for this to break. In fact, I really love using this weapon on Donald. It's actually really good for a lot of reasons. It helps you grind money, and it rarely breaks, so that is actually pretty amazing. Yeah, I want to wait until I provoke this group as a whole before I rush in with these two, because I don't want to get rid of them too quickly. I mean, they should be able to take on a couple of enemies, but still. These enemies really don't want to move, do they? Well, if that's the case, then I'll do the moving for them. Or, what I mean is, I'll, move, and I'll move first, basically. Now, visiting the village, I think, ends your turn, so I'll actually prefer to take this guy out first. Yes, luck is something that Muriel has not had. And I can safely let Muriel get the kill here, because Riken... Actually, that was nice! And now Riken has focus, which again is not going to work since there's going to be allies close to him. That 10 defense, though, on a level 10 mage, that's what I like about Riken. He's actually a lot more tanky than most mages are. Going to go 99%. Now that's a disaster waiting to happen.
You and I can take him. The predicted outcome.
Yeah, well, my predicted outcome was actually you missing, considering how bad your luck's been overall so far. But this is actually the first time I've ever trained Muriel this much. I don't know why, but I just didn't use her very much in my first playthrough. Kind of strange that, but that's just kind of what happened. So, time to advance forward, really. Nothing much else to do. Are these guys gonna come running just yet? They might, so at the moment... Oh, okay, that's perfect. The boss doesn't move, so I can end this chapter on my own terms whenever I want to. So, let's pick off a couple of Dark Mages. Exactly enough damage too, excellent. That's where having good strength helps, because javelins have terrible might. Oh, you have a wind tome. Okay, that's not as bad for... Of all things to dodge, you dodged the one that was no threat to you and got hit by the one that was a threat to you. I forgot about you. Pegasus Knights don't hate wind magic as much as Wyvern Riders do, and you gain magic. Wow, that's strange. Okay, that's good, because they are away from most characters. That skill heals you. Okay, and finally Muriel is doubling. Excellent. Well, I mean, she's always doubling Dark Mages, but once Muriel gets enough speed to double, she actually becomes very, very strong. And yet another level up. Oh, hey, defense. Yes, and now you're moving. And yeah, that was what Relief does. If there are no allies within 3 spaces, you restore 20% of your HP every turn, so... That can be a very useful skill sometimes. And I'm gonna go ahead and wait a second. Yeah, that could be bad. Okay, let's see what these guys do first. Oh, Killing Edge guy. Okay, I want to get rid of that guy from a distance if at all possible, because I do not want to risk that critical rate up close. Either that, or I can use someone whose luck is so high they barely even get critical by Killing Edges. Or Killing Edges barely do any damage to them, but... Yeah, basically want to just watch out, because you guys can be really annoying. Yeah, that critical rate really worries me. But the cool thing about Dragonstones is they're actually long range in this game. Now, I think Manakete may have had range breath in Fire Emblem 3, but I'm pretty sure that was the only one apart from this game where they actually did. Most other games, for some reason, they only attacked in melee range. I don't know why, it's just kind of strange like that. I actually want Noe to get most of the kills here because she's very behind as far as levels go compared to the rest of my army. But let's visit this village.
Hail, traveler!
Oh, don't worry. Your family's treasure is definitely more than enough for me. That is a Master Seal. Master Seals let you upgrade to a promoted class if you're level 10 or above, so technically Muriel can use it now, but here's the thing, if you're new to Fire Emblem, you'll need to realize something. You actually really don't want to promote at the bare minimum level. If you do, you'll lose out on a lot of experience points, and I mean a lot, so just be kind of careful there. Actually, I don't want to do this now. Except, Killing Edge guy does need to die. Oh, crap, I may have screwed this up. Or not, because I can get rid of him like this. Yeah, need this guy to go immediately, because otherwise... Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did I just miss a 92%? That's almost a guaranteed hit. That's really bad. I've been having abysmal luck so far. I'm very, very worried. I'm very worried now. Oh dear. Okay, well, at least you attack them. And that hits. That's not good. Please, everyone else attack Donald and Noe, please. Oh, this healing Cordelia might not have been enough. Please, you... Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's good. Although, if you critical twice, although thankfully you probably won't get a chance. Okay, good, no crit. Perfect. And gone. Also perfect. That could have been bad. I almost made a fatal mistake there. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have made a fatal mistake if... That was a horrible level up by Noe standards. Wow! Noe's growth rates in general are actually fantastically high, so I have no idea why that happened. She should have at least gained strength. That was surprisingly bad.
My turn.
Thank you.
And Vake somehow managed to take out a sword user. And leveled up. Skill certainly helps with axes having a generally low hit rate, and that almost ended very, very badly. Very badly. I'm actually gonna heal like this because Lisa will almost certainly be safe at this point.
Thank you.
So yeah, that could have ended very badly if that went wrong. And again, I'm letting Noe hog most of the experience, but again, be careful. Just like with Pan, you don't want to use her Dragonstone too much because it is limited. And once it runs out, she won't be able to attack. You get another Dragonstone in Chapter 11, so it's not that far off, but it is kind of annoying. So her Dragonstone needs to last until then, and make sure we visit this village.
Oh, thank the gods.
Now, this character's portrait is kind of interesting for reasons that I'll mention later. And this... yeah, but with more destroying things. Anyway, this is another second seal, so it's kind of weird that Merchant showed up. We would have got a second seal anyway in this chapter. I actually forgot about that, so we get a second seal and a master seal, so pretty much for all our class-changing needs. This chapter's basically the point where you kind of learn about... Now, if I do this just right... Hopefully, Maribel should level up her staff rank by doing this. And that'll give her access to the physics staff, which I kind of want access to by the next chapter. And almost, but not quite. One more heal should do it. And the enemies are going to do nothing on their phase because there's only one enemy left. And for some reason, this guy doesn't move. I don't know why, he just doesn't. But anyway, need to heal now. Now that should do it. There we go! Now Maribel can use the physics staff. That is definitely something that we need. Speaking of something that we need, I kind of want Noe to take this guy down. The problem is, he is sort of tough. He has Nosferatu, which heals him for as much damage as it deals, and I don't want to attack him on Noe's turn, because that wouldn't end well. She'd get hit again there, and that... Or I could just do this, and that would just totally... Actually, wouldn't totally destroy this guy. Interesting. Yeah, I've avoided letting Donald really attack, because... Here's the thing, okay, I know this isn't exactly optimal, but I want this event tile. With them, specifically. There we go! This is the line that I wanted from Noe. So, she just met a new dragon friend. His name was Banter? This is very interesting. Because if you've played Marth's games, you'll know that this is referring to Bantu. Now, this implies that Bantu is still alive at the time of Awakening. The reason why this is such a big deal... Bantu in Shadow Dragon looked like a very, very, very old man. Now, Noe here looks like a young child, and yet she's over 1,000 years old. If that's what a young child Manakete looks like, imagine how old Bantu must have been at the time of Marth's games. I mean, he must have been ancient. And here's the thing. This is 2,000 years later. 2,000 years after Marth's games, when Bantu was already implied to be old by dragon standards, and he's apparently still around. Wow, gotta hand it to Bantu, he's lived for a very long time if that's true. But yeah, that was the quote that I wanted to show off, because it's really, really interesting. Anyway, just 1 HP heal here for some experience. Healing salves are not hard to buy now, so it's kind of fine. And, pretty much, I think all that's left is to... I might want to go ahead and put Avatar here for Solidarity Boost. And have Noe wait there. See if I can just... Another heal for extra experience again. Yeah, once just the boss is left, it gets to the boring part of a Fire Emblem chapter. You there, you there. Let's just stack as many supports as possible. Yeah, this guy is definitely not a villain. Of course, Mary Sue refuses to worship Grima, because Loptir is the real, true evil dragon god. And that's the one that Mary Sue worships. Yes, she may be a Elysian shepherd, Mary Sue paused angrily, but she is also a Loptinist! Anyway, that was a much better level up by Noe standards. Except I would have preferred strength and not magic. For some weird reason, yeah, let me just see if this is right. That's 8 power, 12, and then 12 plus 9. Yeah, that would give 21. Yep, that's physical. I was just wanting to confirm that. For some reason, the Dragonstone gives a boost to magic, despite the fact that it's actually a physical attack. I really don't know why this is the case, because you can't actually make use of that boost ever, because in magic using classes, you can't even equip the Dragonstone. Now, again, I still want Noe to get the kill. Because she's very behind as far as experience goes. And severely Snap is down. Now we just need to take out Remus Lumpkin, wherever he is. But anyway, stage complete. Noe and Donald were the heroes. And speaking of which, you leveled up twice and didn't get hit very much. I'd say this wasn't actually that bad of a day.
Good grieving.
Yes, mostly thanks to you, Noe. And she means that in the opposite sense to what you probably think.
What?
Exactly.
Listen.
But he is in the mercenary class, so I guess we can hire him. This is not going to cost us any gold or anything, don't worry. I really like this line. This is one of my favorite lines in the game, actually. Gregor just finished killing former employers, but still very reliable. Oh no, we won't do that. Although, when she starts leveling up, she's not going to get hurt at all, trust me. She has some of the best defense in the game. Yeah, many angry former employers.
Right.
Yeah, despite slave traders being censored out of Shadow Dragon, they still exist here. Yeah. That really doesn't sound good. Well, I mean, she can turn into a dragon.
No.
Yeah, she isn't really, and that explains why she is a marriage option for characters in this game. I already mentioned that. Yeah, she's around 1,000-ish, which I think is quite young by dragon standards. Again, Bantu must be just downright ancient at this point. He's probably, I'd guess, over 10,000 by this point.
Well.
Seriously, I can't even begin to imagine what Bantu must look like now. If he looked old 2,000 years ago, wow. Oh yes, they're very resilient, trust me. They have some of the best defense out of any class ever. But of course, the Grimiel, yeah, it's not exactly confirmed whether or not Noe is a divine dragon, but if she is, the Grimiel will probably want her dead.
Huh?
The Grimiel, or the Deff Deelers, as I like to call them.
Ah.
Yeah, they're followers of a dark poser dragon, Grimla. Alright, now if the first Exalt defeated Grima, then that would make it not Marth or Salif, unless Grima is Medius or Loptir. So much speculation about that. I mean, both of those two promised they would return as long as there was evil in men's hearts.
I see. Listen.
And suddenly Flavia's with us. We're almost at the Pledge-in capital, and we will certainly need our last strength there, because next chapter, well, is going to be a pretty epic one. So, I will definitely see you next time for, again, one of the most epic chapters in the game, so look forward to that.